You don't have to be an empath to understand the amount of grief, pain, anxiousness, and anger permeating our society. When you're faced with the horrors occurring around us, when you've got a family to be concerned with, when you're trying to keep or get a job, not having food on the table, the loss of loved ones, this can lead to a certain extent to apathy. Apathy is defined as a lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. So many things are happening that have led many normally very empathetic people to feel they need to turn off their emotions for their own well-being, which is understandable. Are you familiar with compassion fatigue? It's a condition that often befalls caregivers like nurses and people who are constantly exposed to the suffering of either people or animals. They have so much compassion and empathy for the distress of others that they will end up getting completely overwhelmed and shell-shocked by it, which causes them to retreat emotionally. It actually dulls and lessens their compassion over time and can eventually lead to complete apathy if it isn't kept in check with regular self-care and therapy. You see, all the pain and suffering you encounter can build up over time. Layer after layer settles on your gentle empath heart and soul. Eventually, it weighs you down and quells your motivation. Empathy is a key human quality that heals personal relationships. It lets us see our commonalities, not just differences. Even if we disagree, we can get a clear sense of others' points of view. Empathy lets us overcome differences and come to a place of understanding rather than a polarizing us versus them attitude. The thing is, this experience isn't limited to those who work in trauma wards. It is a very real condition that many struggle with. They are so attuned to other people's emotions all the time that often the only way to save themselves from the constant, overwhelming onslaught is to numb out. Hypersensitivity and awareness are pulled inwards, and a protective shield comes up to block out the never-ending waves of hurt, worry, despair, anger, and other emotions that slam into each and every empath on a constant basis. Many feel that they only have two options in situations like this: put those walls up or burn out completely. Being an empath has its benefits, but it also has an enormous cost. When you're so attuned to what everyone else is feeling, conditions like severe anxiety, depression, eating disorders, and even physical pain can manifest on a constant basis, and none of it originates inside you. It's like a thundering torrent of external influences thumping into you from all directions, and it never seems to let up. When you're dealing with that kind of situation, withdrawing and creating a protective cocoon just seems like the smartest and safest bet, doesn't it? Well, yes and no. You see, when people put up walls, they don't just keep outside emotions from slamming into them. They keep their own emotions at bay as well. Shutting down and retreating inwards is just as dangerous to one's emotional and psychological wellness as being a raw, exposed nerve that's constantly zapped by everyone else's energy. Sure, it may feel safer and more comfortable to go numb, but you're doing yourself more harm than good, and may also harm everyone around you in the process. By shutting down and cultivating apathy instead of empathy, you may deprive yourselves of the little joys that makes your life worth living. Do you enjoy reading, drawing, running? When you shut down, most of those things don't matter anymore, and you'll likely just numb out in front of a TV for hours at a time because you can't be bothered to do anything else. On top of that, when you block out other people's emotions in an attempt to save yourself, you'll also be blocking out the people close to you. You may find yourself unwilling to give a damn about your spouse or partner, especially if they're being emotionally needy in your eyes, which is totally normal when someone freezes a person out. Your kids, if you have them, may become utterly annoying attention hogs instead of the fragile little ones they actually are. Your friends may discover that they can't talk to you because everything they say just annoys you. And you may risk losing your job because you can't put sincere care or effort into what you're doing. By withdrawing into an apathetic cocoon, you may be sparing yourself pain and emotional overload, but you're also preventing yourself from actually living. You'll just be a hollow shell of a person going through the motions, but not really feeling or experiencing anything. And that's a sad state of being indeed. The key is balance. It may sound like something that's easier said than done, and saying that balance is easy to achieve would be a steaming pile of you-know-what, but it can be done, and it's really quite important to do so. There's a happy middle ground between being flayed by other people's emotions and numbing yourself out entirely. So you need to find out what your threshold is as far as being able to tolerate the onslaught and which techniques work best in terms of self-care and replenishment. One thing that's really important to do is to take note of the situations and people that drain you the most. If you find that a trip to the shopping mall leaves you wanting to lie on the floor in a comatose puddle for a few days, then it's probably best to avoid going there. Similarly, if time spent with a particular friend or family member depletes you and turns you into a shaken, anxious mess, you may wish to limit your time with them as much as feasibly possible. Some empaths turn to drugs or alcohol abuse in order to brace themselves against the crap that pours out of toxic people. But that's a temporary fix, which will almost certainly cause harm in the long run. Whenever possible, only maintain a bond with people who enhance your life. Learn to let go of those who drain and poison you. In addition to avoiding situations that can deplete you or cause pain, another great thing you can do is create a safe physical space to retreat into. A bedroom is ideal as you can literally lock the door and have space to yourself when you need it. Decorate the space in such a way that it's calm and airy, not cluttered. Pale hues, replenishing colors, green plants, and lights that can be dimmed or brightened depending on your needs can help exponentially. Retreat to this space when you're feeling overwhelmed and try to focus on your breathing. This will help you to learn to differentiate between your own emotions and other people's, which you may be carrying without realizing it. Meditative practices that reconnect you with your body can also be remarkably effective at calming the emotional maelstrom. Most empaths reside in their own heads and spiritual selves most of the time, so pulling back into the physical realm can create some much needed grounding. Yoga and Tai Chi are two excellent ways to ground yourself. Not only are you physically connecting with the earth, but in being totally focused on what your body is doing and how your breathing is moving through, you're not being assaulted by other people's emotions. It's all about you, your strength, your calm, your well-being. There is no formula that will work for everyone, as people's emotional thresholds and ideas of self-replenishment are all quite different. You may have to try a number of different shielding and self-care techniques before you find the magical middle ground that fits best, and that's absolutely okay. If you spent years being overwhelmed by other people's thoughts and feelings, it'll take time to learn how to differentiate which are yours and which are theirs, and also to sort out what makes you feel safe, happy, and healthy. Battered and beaten down though she may be, compassion is a true friend who wants and needs to be in your life. Invite her back in through awareness, self-care, and guided healing. Allow your broken pieces to be restored so that you can continue sharing your light and love with the world.